So today I'm just going to go over building templates for your music. A lot of people get hung up in the beginning stages of starting a song, and the reason that the song or the idea that you have when you sit down to start something is because you just take too long doing the things that really shouldn't be taking up that much of your bandwidth. So one way to just kind of get over that is to start something that can kind of take care of as much of that in the beginning stages as possible, so that when you sit down to create something, it's just straight into whatever creative shit that you want to put in there. So I'm going to go over some of the stuff that I've kind of built out for this template here. This could be for mostly like a house song. It's very generic, so it could be any of the subgenres contained in house, right? Um, but let's just kind of go through some of the things that I've chosen. To be pretty frank with you, this is like I wasn't super intentional about this. I got a lot of these samples just from Splice. Um, let's first just start with drums. All I found was I just got on Splice and looked for like a house kick. Right, this is what we got. Really simple. And then I chose, as you can see here, 5 different top loops. And then for the chords, I did not create that jingle. That was my washing machine. For these chords, the great thing about Ableton is you really don't need to know much about music theory as far as what key you want to work in and whatnot. Um, if you open up a MIDI track, let's say for example, you've never received any training in music theory, and that's maybe what's kind of holding you back from starting this. Maybe you want to create music and you just don't know how. Um, as far as your key goes, just start in A minor. A minor is all white keys. There's no black keys uh, on the piano, at least. I don't want to conflate two things. Ableton does a good job at kind of making this like a piano roll, like a real life piano roll with these black and white keys. But for all intents and purposes, if you want to write a song in A minor, then all you have to do is you just come into this MIDI clip. Here, let me take off all this extra stuff. So all you do is in this clip window, you just click this scale button, select the key that you want to work in. I have already got this in A minor. There's tons of different options here, but you're usually going to be working in major or minor. And then you just click, even without the scale button selected, you can see it's highlighting all of the notes that are in the A minor scale. If you want to make it even easier, then you can just click this scale. Now all of these notes, they're all in A minor. So if you want to build some chords, it's super easy. Um, what I'll show you here is you can just kind of like I would change the length here to 4 bars. Uh, and for this first one, we can just do like a 1-4-5-1. It's a very popular chord progression. Just count up 4 there, count up 1 more. So this is a 1-4-5-1. All right, if I just play this. To make a chord, instead of chords, I'm gonna bring this down more. Actually, no, I like it up there. Change my mind. We're gonna leave it here. So if I just hit Control C, Control V, that's copy paste, and then I just go up on the up pad, right, and do that one more time. Now we've got a triad. Super easy. Some might call it cheating. It's too easy. Like if you wanted to do, instead of 1-4-5-1, and you wanted to do 1-5-6-2, it's literally so easy. You just so when I say 1-5-6-2, we're gonna go. We're just gonna select all these ones. And we're just gonna go up 1. It literally works for all the triads. Um, what I want to do is I'll explain myself later. I'll just invert these top ones. There we go. That's kind of a cool chord progression, right? Complete with your 2 bass. You got your tenor and your bass. That sounded like it was slightly clipping, which will be okay. I'll also explain why in a minute. I've done a little bit of work already on this, but I am going to save this. What did we call this? 1, 5, 6, 2. 1, 5, 6, 2. No, it's in Roman numerals. How pretentious of me. I actually may have already had that. No, didn't. Okay, so now that's kind of how you build chord progression. Super easy. So what I've already been doing this evening is just kind of building out a bunch of these. I've got it 1 4 5 1, 1 1 5 1, 1 3 6 5, 1 3 1 3 6 4, 5 4 5 1 or 5 4 6 1. And then the only other thing that I want to show you, so I'll shift tab over to my effects rack here, is I've built a compressor side chaining to the kick. There's a bit of clipping, maybe not on this one. This one's probably got some like louder frequencies. Wait, is that the one that I just built? I thought I was just clipping on. That's fine. You'll notice when I just turned this drum on, this piano became almost non-existent. I can hardly hear it. And the reason that that's happening is I've got this compressor here that's side chaining off the kick. You can see I've just reduced this threshold here. If I just grab a compressor, it usually looks just like this. Let me just show you how this works. Without changing my own, what you do is basically come in, click this sidechain button, select the kick that you want to sidechain off of. If you do this, then you can hear exactly what sounds are coming in. Since this is a kick, it's just a kick, it doesn't have any of the other drum sounds. It's nice and easy. Sometimes if you have like the whole drum loop, the kick and the top loop together, then you can actually just filter out all of the higher frequencies. So it's just sidechaining off the kick. So you can do stuff like that. That works. And what I've done, you can see, is I dropped the threshold here and just kind of messed around with some of these. I dropped the attack. Actually, I ended up just setting this on auto, and it takes care of it well enough. So yeah, now that's pretty much ducking out the sound of these chords. And then I also threw a saturator on right after, just so I could give it a little bit more drive. Saturator's nice. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, now I've got all these different chords. I could build a whole song just off of the notes that are in this MIDI track. I probably won't use grand piano for a lot of it, although it already sounds great. It sounds like a fucking house track. You just walk into a club and hear something like this. This is it. As far as taking this and turning it into a real track, right? You're going to kind of spread it out so that you have your song structure however long you want your choruses, verses, bridges, drops. And once we kind of spread that out, the next steps from there would kind of be like finding any audio samples, or creating audio samples, I should say, if that's what you want to do. Get some organic sounds in there. Maybe you play guitar, maybe you play trumpet, maybe you want to throw down some little ad-libs in there. And then of course, finding some little ear candy if you like. It just really depends. From here, you can do whatever you want. So keep your eyes out for part 2. I'm going to go ahead and build an entire track out of this. And, hopefully you can find something that you can also implement into your own production process. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.